listening to Real Guy Radio.
How many pro wrestling news websites do you visit to get your daily news? 3, 4, maybe 5? Do yourself a favor and make that number 1. WrestleChat.net, the only professional wrestling news site that brings you all wrestling news all day long, and is home of the critically acclaimed Still Real to Us podcast, starring former CZW, ROH, and ECW announcer Eric Gargiulo and the champ Jeff Beck. That's WrestleChat.net. WrestleChat, it's where it's at.
It's still
Welcome, everyone. We have finally made it. The final show for 2011. December 29th, 2011. The very last time I will say 2011 on this very show, and any date that we do. Episode number 98. It is our award show, our year-end wrap-up award show. Really love doing this show. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm in my best tux. I am the champ, Jeff Beck, and getting his rental there from Men's Warehouse, the one and only Eric Gargiulo. Eric, you ready for a little snazzy show we're about to do?
Jeff, I am styling. I am profiling, limousine riding. I got a 2-for-1 deal. I had the tux from the wedding, the tux for our little award show here. I am ready to go.
Yeah, I would like to thank Men's Warehouse as well for suiting me up for this one. Everybody looks great. The wine's out, the champagne.
How do you look, Jeff?
You look great, dude, as always, though. So I love the haircut that you did for the show as well.
Hey, listen, you know what happens once a year?
Yeah, you know, this is the one time that we get all dressed up. We sit here, everybody sits out in the audience, they enjoy the award show. We wrap up 2011, our year-end in style. I was thinking back to when we did the award show last year, and for whatever reason we had a problem with I was home and unable to come to the studio, and I couldn't get Eric's mic up on my Skype, so I had to call him. And it was Eric on a phone line talking for the entire show, and it just wasn't the same feeling where Eric and I could stand at this podium in an empty auditorium that we rented here in Philadelphia and do an award show for the janitor and Eric's longtime friend there, Rat Boy. So,
yes, you know, I mean, Jeff, this introduction is great, but I just ask that you move this thing along so I can eat my veal.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The food looks extravagant. We got caterers from Panera Bread, because that's all we can afford. So, with that being said, our 2011 award show, our year-end award show, thank you for joining us. One of my favorite shows of the year where we kind of look back at the year in wrestling, things that we discussed here on this very program, and give out some awards for some topics that, you know, they're basic. You know, you got your angles of the year, your feuds of the year, and stuff like that. But our answers will be different and extravagant. That's what we bring to you here on this Still Real to Us show. Right. So with that being said, Eric, let's get right to our very first topic, our very first award to be given out for all of wrestling. This 2011 award show, we kick it off in style with the Angle of the Year. What is your Angle of the Year, Mr. Gargiulo?
The Angle of the Year. Drum roll, please. I am going to go with The Rock and John Cena.
Ooh, all right. The Rock and John Cena. Why did that beat out any of the other angles that we could have picked out here from whether it be WWE, TNA, ROH, or various other wrestling promotions? What made The Rock and John Cena be the Angle of the Year?
Sure. One word, money. This thing is a money drawing angle. It is going to draw more money at this year's WrestleMania than I would guess any other WrestleMania. It was the saving grace to this past year's WrestleMania, well, this current year's now WrestleMania. I just think that it's great to have it's great to have a compelling segment on television. It's even better to have compelling segments on television, but it's another thing to turn those segments into dollars, into putting the asses in the seats or the eyes in front of the television when it comes to The Rock and John Cena. And they do it. They draw the ratings. They draw the buy rates. I can't say that I'm necessarily, particularly excited about seeing their match because I'm not. But I mean, this thing has been great. And until they watered it down after WrestleMania, it was awesome. The weeks leading up to WrestleMania when they would do the raps back and forth. Even just recently at the Slammies when Cena cut that promo on The Rock. It was good stuff. So, and you have The Rock sending it videos, posting videos on YouTube, where it's got more of a shoot aspect to it. I think far and away that was the best of 2011.
For me, and I'm right up there with you when it comes to angles. That was right up there as some of my top angles when I was prepping for the show here. But for me, my angle of the year, and sorry, this is one person late, but I was able to find the drum roll. So my angle of the year is, will CM Punk stay or go from the WWE? That was something that, looking back at the year, Eric, that you and I discussed for quite a number of weeks on whether or not CM Punk would leave the WWE, if this was a angle, if this was a shoot, if he was really leaving, if he was really staying or going, whatever the case may be. For those 3 or 4 weeks, for me, that was the best angle of the year in wrestling because it captivated wrestling for a short period of time. Wrestling fans were tuning into the show for a short period of time, but it really grasped the imagination, and while it didn't lead us to roads that we would have booked, it was something that, at least for the summer months, and it's a downtime in wrestling, and when you look back at the numbers for this show, it was just a big deal. People were interested to hear what whether we had to say or bloggers or what CM Punk had to say about whether or not he was leaving the WWE. So for me, angle of the year had to be CM Punk if he was staying or going from the WWE. Eric, your thoughts? Was that up there in top angles of the year?
Oh yeah. Pardon me. Absolutely. It was definitely the most fun angle of the year. That's for sure. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm not a big CM Punk fan, but just the intrigue of whether he was staying or going was great. I know a lot of people enjoyed the promos during the feud. I wasn't as big a fan of some of these promos during the feud as some people were, and I have a little bit of a different take on it, as we talked on our last show, Jeff, when I was talking about some ideas that I had for my year in review blog on the Camel Clutch blog. But I mean, it was great. It was it was again compelling television for those couple of months. And when Punk showed up at Comic-Con and got in Triple H's face, so to speak, with the bullhorn, I thought that was fantastic. I'll tell you another angle, which I thought was great this year that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, was Karen and Jeff Jarrett against Kurt Angle. I thought those angles were fantastic in TNA. I thought the matches were great, no pun intended on the angles. But I loved it. I thought that was a great feud. I really enjoyed that one as well.
To throw another TNA angle in there that I also enjoyed was Jeff Hardy. His climb back to
where he goes to jail for 10 days.
Yes, it was a great angle where he was trying to gain penance there from the TNA wrestlers. I thought it was it was basically being honest with the wrestling fans, which is something that's hard to do nowadays, and really coming up with the faults. It was interesting. It was intriguing. I love the angles and Kurt Angle and the Jarretts. With that angle was also a great one. So there you have it, Eric, John Cena, and The Rock. All the stuff that they've done this year, headed up as we get closer to WrestleMania 28 now, as 2012 is just next week. For me, whether or not CM Punk will stay or go from the WWE was my angle of the year. And now on to our next topic, Eric, our next category, Breakout Star of the Year. With that being said, I will get the drum roll ready. Eric Arjulo, who is your breakout star of the year for the world of wrestling in 2011?
Oh gosh, breakout star of the year this year. I'm gonna say